Well, hey, Dave Dubeau here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to get OPM for real estate. What's OPM? Other people's money. This is the fastest, surest way for you to scale your portfolio and reach your financial goals through real estate investing. And OPM is something I've been using since 2013. It's worked really well for me, and more importantly, it's worked very, very well for over 200 clients that we work with individually, helping to cumulatively raise well over $350 million for their deals. And it can work incredibly well for you too. Okay, in today's episode on how to get OPM for real estate, I'm going to break down my money partner formula into 5 simple steps that you're going to easily understand and that you can apply to get other people's money. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is who you should be focusing on and how to connect with those people. Then we're talking about how to get the word out, how to present your opportunity in the best possible light, and then how to really leverage all of this, and then how to really start the snowball effect. So let's dive right in. Okay, the first step I want to talk about is gathering a list of potential investors. You want to focus on people that you have a pre-existing relationship with. Friends, family members, coworkers, etc. Create a list of about 150 of those people, and then you want to break the ice with them first before you start talking real estate. We do this via a warm-up campaign. Once we've got that, then we're set to start communicating with them on a regular basis. So step number 1 is gather that list of people, put it all together into an email autoresponder or a CRM type system, and then break the ice with them first before you start talking business. The second step is to make sure that you've got what I call a $1 million investor presentation ready to go, because all of our marketing is going to be encouraging people to reach out to you to find out more information. It's going to be creating curiosity. So when they do that, you want to make sure that you're ready to go with a really good slide deck presentation. The reason I like slide deck presentations is because number 1, it keeps you on track so you don't go off on tangents and go down a rabbit hole. Number 2, it's much more visually interesting for the other person to look at. Number 3, it helps explain the whole process in a simple, easy to understand manner that a non-real estate person can understand. And number 4 is it creates a system that you can replicate over and over again. Once you get your investor presentation dialed in, you just need to do it over and over again, and you're going to get consistent results. So step number 2 is to make sure you put together this investor presentation and then get some practice runs under your belt. The best way I've seen to do this is with our Ninja strategy. The Ninja strategy is a way for you to get 15 to 20 friendly investor meetings booked in as little as an hour so that you can fill up your schedule, your calendar for the next 2 weeks, and you can raise that first 6 figures in a couple of weeks instead of a couple of months. The third step is all about getting the word out, the marketing, what I call the 3 C's: constant, consistent, edutaining communication. Now, what is this? This is all about the marketing. We want to reach out to people on a very consistent basis. I'm going to recommend at least once a week, but we hit them with different things. So for example, when we're doing this with our clients, the first week of the month, it's a electronic newsletter. The second week of the month, it's a blog post. The third week of the month, it's a video log. Fourth week of the month, another blog post. Drip, drip, drip. Every single week, something is coming from you to your prospective investors, creating curiosity, getting them to click on that Contact Us button. That's the whole goal here. So we want to get that up and going, and we want to make sure that your communication is what I call edutaining. A big mistake I see a lot of capital raisers making is they overdo it with the education. They say, hey, I've got all of this knowledge, all of this experience, all of this wonderful information in my head. I'm going to transfer it all to my prospective investors. Well, here's the challenge. They don't care. All right? They are regular people. You and I are what I lovingly call real estate weirdos. Chances are your prospective investors are regular human beings, right? They really don't care that much about real estate. What they want to know is they want to know that you know your stuff, and they want to get the big picture overview or the big picture gist of how everything works. So our goal with our marketing is to edutain them. Be a little bit educational and hopefully a little bit entertaining. So how do we do that? First thing is we keep it short and punchy. We don't overdo it with too much information. So keep it pretty short, pretty punchy, and just go over the 30,000 foot perspective. Don't get into the weeds and too much detail, especially if you're an analytical kind of person that just loves crunching numbers. Most people aren't that way, and you're going to put them to sleep if you go into spreadsheets and too much data. Big picture, 30,000 foot perspective. And then the really important thing is to add in personal stories and examples with your communication. This is the entertaining side of things. You don't have to be a clown. You don't have to tell jokes. Tell stories instead. So show examples from your own experience, case studies from your own portfolio. If you don't have enough of those, then you can borrow some from people that you know. Say, hey, this is something my friend Joe did. Here's what happened. You tell a story. People are going to remember stories far, far more and far better than data. So make sure that your communication is edutaining. A great example of this is our client Carina. When we first started working with Carina, she and her husband Dave had been doing real estate investing for a couple of years. They were focusing on doing pre-development type deals. What does that mean? They would find a city property that was underused. So usually kind of something like a single family home on quite a big lot that they could buy that property and then they could get it rezoned and ready for development. So what they were doing is they were buying these properties and then they would go through all of the red tape and all of the hassle of getting them rezoned. And then on top of that, they would get building plans created with architects and engineers for that particular property and then sell the whole thing as a ready-to-go, shovel-ready deal to a developer. Developers absolutely love this because developers love building stuff. They hate the red tape. So they took care of all of the red tape and they made a lovely ROI for doing so. However, they were limited by how much they could do and how many deals they could do at any one time because they were self-financing. So we started working with them. We got their marketing dialed in, and it was an absolute game changer for Carina and Dave. In fact, within less than 8 months, they raised over $1 million for their deals. And here's a great thing. By doing this marketing, this constant, consistent, edutaining communication, they not only got a group of investors lined up ready to go, waiting in the wings for their next deals, but they also had these investors coming to them instead of them chasing after them. So they got the investors coming to them already pre-educated, pre-motivated, and even pre-qualified to invest before they even met with them. Then they walked through their investor presentation and bam, it was a slam dunk. Here's the good news. You can do the exact same thing if you follow the process. Speaking of the process, if you're looking for a formula on how to attract investors and OPM, I've got it for you. It's called the Money Partner Formula. This is my book. It comes after over a decade, a lot more than that by this time actually, of blood, sweat, and tears. What I've done right, what I've done wrong, what I've learned from those experiences, and more importantly, how you can use this to attract investors and raise capital. We've helped over 250 clients over the last 10 years cumulatively raise well over $350 million for their deals. So go to investorattractionbook.com or click on the link in the description below to get your copy today.